here at Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra, Titletown, USA. Bit of a palace of sorrows lately, but as a Giants fan, I can't really speak on that. The word on the street is, though, that today, January 14th, 2026, Steve Tisch flew his private jet out to Baltimore, pick up Harbaugh, bring him back to the facility. He's in-house today, hoping to get a deal done with all the strict rules and laws. I'm not really sure how that's possible to get it done today, but if it can, heck, that'd be awesome. But along those lines, I figured I'd just give a quick head coach openings ranking and one person I think that can fill that gap for those teams. So first and foremost, the best, most desirable opening, the Baltimore Ravens. It is so cold out here, but I mean, winning culture that did not leave with Harbaugh. It's a winning culture, winning locker room, winning football team. Great talent on both sides of the ball. Unicorn quarterback. You can only come around, once every 10 years. Who knows? Maybe less. So I think with that, it's just the best place to be. Good ownership, all that. Number two, the Falcons. I let go of the bias. I talked myself into understanding that the roster is better than the Giants roster right now. And had they figured out the whole quarterback situation, had they not messed it up so bad, they'd be in the playoffs. Raheem Morris would still be here as the head coach, and the GM would have been retained. So I think they really messed it up bad. It left the sour taste in the fan base's mouth, ownership's mouth, and so they let him go. And I think right now with that stadium, with that easy division, it's a damn good opening. Number three, then the Giants. They have the quarterback. They have good pieces on defense, and I think any coach would be pretty happy to coach there. New York. If you win in New York, you're a hero forever. Then maybe a surprise, but I had the Raiders at 4. They're going to get their franchise guy. They're going to get Fernando Mendoza, and they have $100+ million to spend. They're going to bolster that O-line like a mug. All right, they have to. It is horrible. Las Vegas, beautiful stadium, warm weather. I think that's a pretty good opening. Then the Titans, because of Cam Ward. That's it. Cam Ward, that's it. After that, I would rank the Steelers at 6. Same with the Ravens, with the winning culture that didn't leave with Tomlin and whatnot, but they're in quarterback hell, and they've been in quarterback hell for quite some time. Cameron Hayward's getting old, Aaron Rodgers is going to be done. These guys they're getting up there. So I think that would be 6, not very high up. Then the Dolphins, South Florida, billionaire owners, no taxes, whatever, but they have a lot to figure out with the roster, a lot to figure out with the money on the books and stuff like that. So. Then the Cardinals, best division in football, and who has it worse than them? Truly. It is so cold. And then the Browns, loser organization, loser franchise, loser front office, never make the right decision ever. That's why Stefanski's still so high on people's list, because they understand that the Browns are just a loser franchise. Okay, and then for the Ravens, I have Jesse Minter. I think they're going to go back to that young coach who's going to be there for a long time. Coach who has a good lineage of mentorship, good winning history. They say he's the Ben Johnson of this defensive cycle. I will see about that. I don't know about that, but I think he's a damn good coach. I think he's going to be there for a long time. Honorable mention maybe to Brian Flores. Falcons with Stefanski. It's a flip-flop right now, it seems to be, with the Giants and the Falcons, Harbaugh and Stefanski, but I think Stefanski ends up in Atlanta. And I think that he's going to really, really maximize that talent on the offense. I think that with Kirko Bangs under center, I think they're going to do a pretty good job next year. I think he's going to implement his 12-13 personnel stuff, a lot of under center stuff, a lot of play action with Bijan Robinson. I think it's going to be a really, really good fit for him, to be honest. Then, like I said, Harbaugh's in-house, keep him there. Harbaugh for the Giants, enough said. Winning coach, number one winning coach in Ravens franchise history, 18 years of it. The recent stuff, it's just not his fault. He didn't make Mark Andrews drop that 2-point conversion. He didn't make Tyler Luke miss the extra point, or field goal, excuse me. So, coach of the year. He's coached Lamar Jackson to 2 MVPs and now he wants to coach Jackson Dart, who has a similar profile and maybe even a better, more advanced pocket presence early on in his career compared to Lamar Jackson. For the Raiders, I got Clint Kubiak. I think they need an offensive guru to maximize that talent, to work with Mendoza, and someone who has good lineage, Gary Kubiak tree, Shanahan tree. I think he's a damn good coach. I think he's going to be a damn good coach for the Raiders. No, probably not success in year 1 or 2, but it'll come for sure. Titans, what have they done between firing Mike Vrabel and hiring Brian Callahan to make you think they're going to do the right thing? And for that reason, I'm going to give them Matt Nagy. Maybe Nate Shieldhouse is an honorable mention there, but I think the Titans brass kind of wants someone who's been there, done that, even if Matt Nagy really doesn't have much success doing it. It looks good that he's Chiefs offensive coordinator. They had some stuff, faults this year, but I think Matt Nagy to the Titans. I'm so cold. The Steelers, I think they're going to go back to a defensive brand of football, the same that they've been, between Cowher, Tomlin, and now Chris Shula. I think Chris Shula is going to land as the Steelers. He's going to rebuild that hard-nosed defensive brand of football that, a blue-collar city like Pittsburgh needs. So I think Chris Shula, great mentorship for years and years and years. He's done freaking everything on both sides of the ball in his career. I think he's going to be a damn good head coach. I think he's born to be a damn good head coach with his lineage, Don Shula and all that. So Shula to the Steelers. Then for the Dolphins, not just because they brought over the GM from the Packers, but I genuinely think that Jeff Hafley is going to be a damn good head coach for them. He's going to rebuild that defense, and there's a lot to figure out when it comes to that roster and the quarterback situation and whatnot. But when it comes to Hafley, he had the number one ranked recruiting class in BC history. He knows how to get players to buy in. He knows how to get players to believe, and I think he's going to be a really good head coach in this league. Someone I don't think I would mind at all if the Giants hired him, and I don't think the Packers fans would mind if he stayed for a couple more years, maybe one or two more years as their defensive coordinator if he didn't get a job this cycle. But Hafley to the Dolphins, good fit, I think. Cardinals, they have to bring in someone from that division, someone who knows how to win. And like the same with Stefanski in the Browns, Robert Saleh's time with the Jets should not impact this whatsoever. Cardinals, do the right thing, do the smart thing, hire Robert Saleh. What he's doing right now with that defense out in San Francisco throughout injuries, throughout doubt, I mean, it is really remarkable. I'm a big fan of Robert Saleh, and I think that he'd be a pretty damn good head coach for the Cardinals. And finally, the Browns. I think one of the Mikes is going to be Fat Mike. Is going to be Skinny Mike. I think it's going to be Skinny Mike. I think I go give him Mike McDaniel. If there's anyone in this coaching cycle that got fired who's likely to be a coordinator again instead of a head coach, it's Brian Dable and it's Mike McDaniel. But I think Mike McDaniel, younger, more revolutionary, more adaptable. I think that the Browns will appreciate that and try to get to replicate some of the success that he had in Miami before the league figured him out. So I'm freezing. I got to piss. I'm shivering. My toes are cold. I recorded an episode before this, but I didn't have my mic on. So 17-0 for the Giants incoming. Hire John Harbaugh. Peace. I realized I missed like 5 talking points I wanted to hit because I was so damn cold. But I also forgot to beg you to like and subscribe, so do that.